If you feel like you're doing everything correctly and not seeing the results that you want, this is the secret to getting those results that you've ultimately been working for. I have been a professional fitness coach for 12 years. My background is in psychology. That's what my college degree is in, studying mindset and motivation. And over the course of my 12-year career, helping hundreds, if not thousands of individuals take control of their health, feel more confident in their body, and generally just build a life that they are happier with, is this trend of seeing otherwise extremely capable individuals who have all of the tools at the ready for them to achieve their goals. They are smart, intelligent. They understand what it is required to lose weight. They know they need to be in a calorie deficit. They know they need to improve their eating. They know they need to exercise more. They know they need to set up their environment to help achieve their goals. And yet they still struggle to do so. Or they see a lot of early success that then tapers off, and they start to find that there's sabotaging behaviors that stand in the way of them getting that last quarter mile into their goal. And what is happening when I'm seeing this, and this is true of people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, these trends tend to occur. And ultimately what is happening is the way that we are viewing ourselves and the way that we're interpreting the world around us is faulty. Not faulty in that it's wrong that you're doing it. It's faulty in that it's no longer serving what you're trying to achieve. And in fact, it's keeping you imprisoned in the reality that you're trying to escape from. And it's easy when we talk about mindset to fall into the trap that it's all woo-woo or mystical, or there's no scientific backing to this. But I want to explain to you a little bit why negative thinking is getting in your way and what negative thoughts actually are. So when we think about our experience going through the world, we are experiencing stimuli in the form of our senses: sight, sound, taste, smells, touch. All of the ways that we interact with our environment and the world around us is sending our brain data. And the challenge is that this is raw data. It has no meaning, it has no interpretation until you interpret the data. And the way that our brains interpret data is to write a story about what is happening. That's how we make sense of the world around us. And so when we understand that negative thoughts are just the result of the stories that we're writing, and that these stories are subjective, we are not objectively experiencing the world the same way as other people. In some cases, yes, we might get the same raw data. If we're in a hot room, we're all going to experience the heat. But the way that we interpret that and our subjective experience of that can be wildly different. So here's a really good example for you to consider. Imagine you're getting critical feedback from somebody. It could be a boss that you've had, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a total stranger at a party. But you're receiving a bit of critical feedback on your performance on something. I want you to take stock of the emotional experience you'll feel internally as you're receiving this critical feedback from somebody that you hate. It's somebody that you don't like. Maybe their personality is off-putting. Maybe they have wildly different values than you that you don't agree with. Maybe they're just a terrible human being and you don't have any value in the words or feedback that they give you. What is the emotional experience that you're having as you're receiving this critical feedback? Is it angry? Is it distrusting of the feedback? Are you writing it off entirely? What is the reaction that you're having? Now, as you sit with that emotional reaction, receiving critical feedback from somebody that you hate, I want you now to just change the situation slightly. Imagine you're receiving the exact same bit of critical feedback from a boss, friend, family member, a complete stranger. But it's from somebody that you admire, somebody that you deeply respect. How does that change the emotional reaction that you feel? Do you now take it constructively? Do you understand that it's coming from a place of respect, mutual respect and love for you, and they want you to do better? They know that you're capable of doing better. When you're receiving critical feedback from somebody you admire, does that change the emotional reaction than the critical feedback you're getting from somebody that you dislike? Even if objectively it's the exact same feedback, the exact same situation, the exact same performance evaluation. But our experience, our interpretation, the story that we write about that situation, based on whether we dislike or like the person giving it to us, is dramatically different. And I share this point with you to highlight the subjective nature of our experience. When we are interpreting the raw data that we get, we are writing stories. And those stories can be perceived negatively, or they can be perceived positively, or they can just be neutral. But what often happens when we are sabotaging ourselves, when we're finding that we are doing everything correctly to achieve the goals that we have in our health, in our career, in our relationships, in our life, and nothing seems to be working, Oftentimes, it's not the tools at our disposal. Sometimes. But oftentimes, it's because we are interpreting the events negatively. And that is creating a bit of self-sabotaging behavior that's keeping you trapped and imprisoned in the very state that you're trying to escape from. But when we're able to recognize the stories that we're writing and the fact that they are no longer serving us, and most importantly, when we learn that we have the power to write different stories, then we discover that we have the power to shift the trajectory of what we're doing. When we can write more positive stories, we get better outcomes. And that is the secret. If you feel like you're doing everything correctly and not seeing the results that you want, this is the secret to getting those results that you've ultimately been working for. It's the recognition that we need to understand the stories that we're writing about our experiences and learn ways to write different stories, better stories, to help you have clearer vision in terms of your mindset, both how it operates and how you can control the outcomes.